I had the good fortune to work with him. The Father showed me some things, call upon his life, and he established what we will call a Davidic throne type government to bring about righteous kingdom government in this nation. It's never been in the earth before since Israel. And so the Father is doing something in the dispensation of the Gentiles where his type of government will show up in the earth to serve as an ensign to the nations. And so coming to know Brother King, I realized that he had the same aspiration, and it was been unveiled to me in the kingly office of this righteous kingdom government moment that we launched on the 30th of December, and we look forward to again launch in the season of Passover that is coming up, where we hit the ground in a revolutionary way to bring changes, building from the bottom up and from the inside out, affecting change, advocating and calling for that which we know have to happen in this nation. Even this, what we are gathered here and why we are gathered here tonight. So this evening, so I want you to just stand with me as I welcome from the kingly office of the Righteous Kingdom Government Movement, none other than Kevin King. Let us welcome him, please.
Good evening.
Good evening.
You know? Bring it up some more. Yeah.
My check 1, 2. Good evening. I am indeed honored to be presented before you this evening, and I come before you standing on the shoulders of many great men before me, men like Martin Luther King Jr., Malcolm X, Marcus Garvey, Lyndon Pinling, Nelson Mandela, many great men that have gone on before us. For the struggle still continues that these men fought for. The Bahamian now stands at the crossroads of human destiny. He and she is at a place where he must either step forward or backward. If he goes backward, he dies. If he goes forward, it will be with the hope of a greater life. Those of us who have developed our minds scientifically are compelled by duty to step out among the thousands of the unthinking masses and convince them of the seriousness of the age and times in which we live. From Adam and Eve, we are either on the way to a higher existence or extermination. When the colonists of America desired possession of the land, they saw that a weak aboriginal race was in their way and buried them underground. They killed them, got hold of them and killed them. This is a fair indication of what will happen to the weaker peoples of the world in another 200 or 300 years, when the stronger races will have developed themselves to the position of complete mastery of all things material. They will not then, as they have not in the past, allow a weak and defenseless race to stand in their way. Especially if they're doing so. If they're doing so, they will endanger their happiness, their comfort, and their pleasures. The illiterate and shallow-minded person who can see no farther than his nose is now the greatest stumbling block in the way of progress of the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. He tells us that we must be satisfied with our condition, that we must not think of building up a nation of our own, that we must not seek to organize ourselves or depend on ourselves, but that we must depend upon the good nature of the other fellow from another place for the solution of our problems that now confront us. This is a dangerous policy, and it is my duty to warn thousands of Bahamians against this kind of leadership. A leadership that tries to make us believe that we will be well without us, taking upon ourselves the task of bettering our own condition politically, industrially, educationally, and otherwise. The time has come for those of us who have the vision of the future to inspire our people to a closer kinship, to a closer love of self, because it is only through this appreciation of self-worth will we be able to rise to that higher life that will make us not an extinct race in the future, but a race of people fit to survive. The price of leadership for those of us who are blazing the way in this New Kingdom government movement to enlighten our people everywhere are at times very much annoyed and discouraged by the acts of our own people, in that, consciously or unconsciously, they do many things to hurt our deeper feelings of loyalty and love for our beloved Bahamas. But what can we do? Can we forsake them because they hurt our feelings? Surely not. Painful though it may be to be interfered with and handicapped in the performance of the higher sense of duty, yet we must make up our minds and our hearts to pay the price with godly leadership. We must be sympathetic. We must be forgiving. We must really have forbearance, so that when the ignorant and illiterate fellow who happens to be a member of your own race stands up to block the passage of some cause that you believe would be to his benefit and to yours, as a people you will be able to overlook him, even though he fosters his opposition with the greatest amount of insult to your intelligence and to your dignity. The excuse that some of our most brilliant men do not identify themselves with the plight of the average Bahamian, that they cannot tolerate the interference of whom they consider to be illiterate Bahamians, who being a member of the same race will attempt to dictate what you should do in the interests of the Bahamas, when this act is based upon no deeper judgment than his like or dislike for the person he is opposing, or the satisfaction it would give to him to embarrass the person he feels like opposing. It is only because of that feeling that I personally am humbled to lead the Righteous Kingdom government movement, because like every other leader, I have had to encounter the opposition, the jealousy, the plotting of men who take advantage of the situations simply because they happen to be members of the status quo organizations. We can only achieve success through harmony and unity. Then it can be realized how much one has to sacrifice as a leader for getting that harmony that is necessary to bring about the results that are desired. Now you might ask me today, what does this have to do with majority rule? Let me explain that. We have missed a major opportunity to document and share in the annals of our history the significance of majority rule. For on this day, the 14th of January 1967, our Creator Yahweh Elohim sought to bring about a unity between two races of people in his holy mountains, these isles of the sea. He orchestrated a tie in the general elections of 10th of January. He presented one person from each race to come together in unity to bring about a new Bahamas in the persons of Alvin Brennan and Randall Fox. It would have been wise then, therefore, to look into the lives and the personal history of these two national heroes and ascertain why the Almighty would have chosen them. But the reality that all power tends to corrupt, and in our leaders' personal quest to hold on to political power, they ignored the significance of the process and created a divided country, and 51 years later we are still divided. A kingdom divided against itself cannot stand. Instead, they speak of the material progress of the Bahamas, yes, which is all good, but the soul and spirit of the nation is divided. And that is the people of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. There is no unity. Under a kingdom government movement, we will correct this and extend the olive branch to all Bahamians, educate, record, and celebrate the true meaning of the events as they occurred. It must be told that even though Bahamian women achieved the right to vote in 1962, the majority were afraid to vote in the 1967 general elections, and only 1,000 women actually voted. It must be told that not because the majority of black Bahamians voted, majority rule came into effect, but by the majority of seats. For there were thousands of black Bahamians that did not want the Progressive Liberal Party to win. But many white Bahamians also wanted a change. This was indeed a sovereign move of God that continued in his pattern to align the Bahamas with the nation of Israel. And that is why it is unconscionable that this present administration abstained from the United Nations vote to recognize Jerusalem as the capital of Israel. And so today, from the kingly office of the Righteous Kingdom Government Movement, I stand in solidarity with the Bahamas in prophecy to preserve the history of our nation as it occurred. We have to preserve the Bahamas for future generations. If you know what you have to do, and you do your best to do it, God may grant you prosperity, and he may grant it to some of you, though not to all. And if you do what you have to do, don't look for any reward, just do your best. You do your best, don't worry what you are going to get from it, because you will make a mistake and you do something wrong if you are looking for a reward. In closing, I'd like to say that every sober-minded Bahamian will see immediately the reason why we should support a movement of this kind. If we will survive, then it must be done through our own efforts, through our own energies. No race of weaklings can survive in the days of tomorrow, because they will be hard and strenuous days, fought with many difficulties. And truly, these isles of the sea, these rocks and keys, these mountain tops, is the place where Yahweh lives.
Hallelujah.
And God bless you, and may God forever bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Thank you very much.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. We just want to thank and bless Yahweh for all that was spoken and shared this day. Hallelujah. But we want to quickly move along. Like we said, our next speaker. As a man I grew to love and respect, and I follow him for a little while. You know, I just caught up with him a few years ago. But ever since he came to the assembly that I used to attend, and I heard and saw the vision that Yahweh had given unto him, I was moved. And when the time was right, I had to follow. So this man, known by some, he should be known because this is a prophet in our land. You know, I hear somebody say Yahweh never raised up two major prophets in the same place. But we can trust Yahweh. This man has stood in Yahweh's counsel. And I will hold up his hand. And I'm talking but no other. Our very own pastor, Prophet Micklin Seymour. Stand with me and give him a hand as he comes. Hallelujah.
As you can see, I want to speak from the heart today, because I really believe that the level of darkness that we are experiencing as a nation, it only could be that the true light will shine in to our people. For far too long we have walked in darkness. I'm reminded of Yeshua as he walked the coast of Galilee, as he entered to begin his ministry in Jerusalem. Gross darkness covered the people. But I believe we are in a season where the light will surely shine upon us, a people, as a nation. And so today, we gathered here the 18th time to celebrate majority rule and to give Yah thanks and praise for choosing us as a people and a nation to be a model, a standard, and an ensign to the nations of the world. 51 years ago, we have already heard, right here in this sacred square, and on this day, majority rule for the first time took place. But I want to talk to you. But before I talk to you, should we just stand and give a moment of silence for those who made it happen? Come on, let's show honor to those. We're talking about the father of the nation. We're talking about Lyndon Oscar Pinland. We're talking about Cecil Wallace Whitfield. We're talking about Ari Cooper. We're talking about H.W. Brown. We're talking about Timothy Gibson. We're talking about so many. Randall Fox, A.R. Brennan, Ivy Dumont, who else? A whole host of them. Too many. Doris, that's it, Doris Johnson, even Lady Pinland.
Hallelujah.
She fought with her husband.